You thought it was just burnout. Too many hours online, too many arguments at home, too much noise in your head. Don't forget like SAR and subscribe our channel. So you tried fixing it. You cleaned your room, logged off social media, lit some incense, played the Quran. But the heaviness stayed. You woke up angry. You snapped at people without reason. Your salah slipped. Your thoughts grew restless, and deep inside you knew something had shifted. Still, you told yourself, it's just stress. But what if it isn't? What if something was placed in your home? Not a curse painted on the wall, not a ritual in plain sight, but a gift, a bag, a frame, a little object you never questioned. And ever since, you haven't felt like yourself. That's the nature of seer. It doesn't arrive loudly. It seeps in slowly, until even your home feels hostile. Your peace crumbles. Your emotions twist. Your du'as feel far away. And you don't know why. This isn't about paranoia. It's about clarity. Because yes, there are real things. Objects planted in homes by smiling hands. Number 1. It looked religious, but it wasn't pure. Maybe it was that black and gold Ayatul Kursi canvas you bought online, or the calligraphy you picked up on your Turkey trip, or the frame someone gifted you. It looked Islamic. It matched your aesthetic. You hung it above your bed, your prayer corner, your hallway, believing it brought Barakah, but then came the signs. Strange dreams, sudden heaviness, arguments for no reason, moments where the air felt thick, like something unseen was there. And when you finally looked closer, you noticed the Ayatul Kursi wasn't complete. Letters were missing, words distorted, the script twisted into symbols you didn't recognize. Your gut told you it was wrong. Because seer isn't always bones and blood. Sometimes it's simply the corruption of something sacred, a deception wrapped in beauty. It's called tashwish, spiritual confusion. Not the object itself, but the distortion within it. Now, every time you walk past that canvas, you don't feel calm, you feel watched. And your body knows, even if your mind resists. This was never from Allah. Shaitan doesn't need to destroy your faith in one night. He only needs you to invite corruption in, and hang it above your head while you sleep. Number 2. It was a gift, but it carried something else. You didn't buy it. You didn't seek it. It was handed to you. A bracelet, a ring, a bottle of attar. Something small, thoughtful, harmless. Until days later, the shift began. Your salah felt heavy. Your mood restless. Your patience gone. Life felt off. And the worst part? You couldn't explain it. No trauma. No fight. Just that gift. The one from the person who hugs too long, compliments too much, or maybe never wanted to see you thrive. You knew it. You just didn't want to admit it. Because seer doesn't always come with smoke and fire. Sometimes it travels through trust, through the hands of someone who knows your taste, your scent, your favorite colors. That's all it takes. Your trust, your name, something that touches your skin. The Prophet warned, beware of envy, for it consumes good deeds the way fire consumes wood. And what happens when envy joins hands with seer? It doesn't just block your blessings. It poisons them, then hands them back wrapped with a smile that we want to believe every gift is sincere. We want to believe every smile is genuine. But not every gift is innocent, and not every hand is clean. Number 3. You hung it up thinking it would protect you. But it was the trap. You didn't ask too many questions. It came from someone older, someone respected. Maybe your grandmother, maybe your in-laws. They swore it would guard you from the evil eye, from jinn, from unseen harms. So you tied it, you hung it, you kept it close. And you never felt wrong about it. After all, it looked Islamic. Arabic script, maybe a verse, maybe a symbol. Something you didn't fully recognize, but didn't dare question. You never opened it, never checked what was inside. Because it felt safer to believe it was helping you than to face the possibility it wasn't. And when the dreams came, when your prayers went dry, when your chest grew heavy even in your own room, you didn't blame the object. You blamed yourself, thinking maybe you weren't spiritual enough. That's how seer hides. Not always in smoke and bones, but in blessed objects passed down lovingly, wrapped in good intentions, yet rooted in something you were never meant to trust. Yes, some scholars permit ta'is, made only with Quranic verses, written properly, with full belief that protection comes only from Allah. But most of what's sold today, the ones handed out casually, made by some healer on WhatsApp, are filled with symbols, numbers, gibberish, things that look sacred but aren't. And the Prophet said, whoever wears a charm has committed shirk. The nuance is there, but the heart of the matter remains. You cannot protect yourself from shaitan. Using something shaitan himself could have written. If it was truly Quran, you'd recognize it. You'd read it. You wouldn't be afraid to open it. So if it's something you've been told never to touch, something hidden, sealed, strange, ask yourself, is that really from Allah? This isn't about disrespecting elders or culture. It's about unlearning blind faith in objects that look religious, but quietly take you further from Allah. And if that charm hanging in your room has replaced your tawakkul, if it's the first thing you reach for when fear hits, then maybe the real trap isn't the seer inside the object. Maybe the trap is what you've come to trust. Number 4, you found it in a corner, and you know you didn't put it there. It started as a normal day. You were cleaning, vacuuming under the bed, sorting your closet, and then your hand brushed against something strange. A cloth, a knot of string, a burned scrap of paper folded 7 times. Not placed, not stored, hidden. And the moment you saw it, something inside you locked up, because you knew this wasn't yours. No one in your home would have left it there. You sat staring at it, trying to rationalize. Maybe trash, maybe something random. But the longer you looked, the more you felt it. This thing didn't belong. Not just physically, spiritually. The air around it felt heavy, like it carried something it shouldn't. And then your mind raced. Who's been in your home lately? Who had access to this room? That guest who insisted on using your bedroom for wudu? That friend who lingered, walking around too freely? You told yourself not to be paranoid, but your gut knew better. This is how seer is planted. Not with rituals in the forest, but in silence. A person enters, smiles, compliments your decor, and while no one's watching, they slip something small into a drawer, behind a plant, beneath your bed, and you never feel the same again. Suddenly your sleep breaks. Your salah gets delayed. Your moods collapse. You get sick. You argue with your family. And no one ever links it back, because no one even knows the thing is there. Even the Prophet Muhammad was tested. A man tied knots with strands of his hair, hid them in a well, and seer began to affect him, until Allah revealed the truth through Jibreel, and it was found and destroyed. This isn't folklore. It's real, and it doesn't need ceremonies. Just access, envy, and intent. So when you stumble on something strange in your home, and you know you didn't put it there, don't brush it off. Don't laugh and toss it out. Don't burn it thinking the problem is gone, because sometimes the object is only the symptom. The deeper disease may already be moving through the house, and the only thing worse than being spiritually attacked is ignoring the evidence that someone already broke in. Number 5, it had you inside it, and you didn't even know it was missing. Because sometimes, what they place in your home isn't random. It isn't just cloth or string. It's something personal, something that belonged to you. And here's the part no one likes to hear. Most serious seer isn't built on complicated spells. It's built on access. A strand of your hair, a clipping of your nail, a photo pulled from your Instagram, a shirt you wore, even a fork you forgot to put away. Small enough for someone to take unnoticed, powerful enough to carry your spiritual fingerprint. And that's all it takes. A piece of you, placed in the wrong hands. No chanting needed, no long rituals. Just your ignorance. While you keep walking through life, wondering why nothing feels right. Because part of you has already been buried in seer. You call it sadness. You call it stress. But how do you explain the moments when your own reflection feels foreign? When your moods shift with no cause? When darkness rushes in, out of nowhere, in a room that was fine a moment before? It's one thing to feel blocked. It's another to realize someone is holding a piece of you and using it against you. And that's when the questions begin. Who had access to me? Who walked through my home while I was distracted? Who took something I didn't even know I lost? Witches don't need to break your door. They just need to step through it once. As a guest, a friend, even family. And if you think that's extreme, remember this. The Prophet Muhammad himself was afflicted with seer, done through strands of his hair and a comb. If it could happen to him, what makes us think we're immune? The truth is, our lives today are wide open. We overshare. We leave things scattered. We trust the wrong people with too much access. And when life collapses in silence, we don't look for the root. We just turn up the volume of our distractions. But here's the wake-up call. If someone could curse you using what belongs to you, could they? Have you ever thought to protect those parts of yourself? This isn't fear-mongering. This is honesty. Because if they used you to build the cage, only you can break it. By returning to the one who owns your soul. And maybe right now, you're scanning your home, your memories, your guest list. But pause. That's not the point. This isn't about suspicion. It's not about blaming every gift or guest. That's not protection, that's paranoia. And paranoia is its own trap. Remember, the Prophet said, "Beware of suspicion, for suspicion is the worst of false tales." Sahih al-Bukhari. Islam isn't built on assumption. It's built on trust, evidence, and giving people the benefit of the doubt. So don't let fear of seer turn you bitter. That's how Shaitan wins. Not through seer itself, but through suspicion. Accept gifts. Host guests. Love people. Just don't live blindly. Your job isn't to obsess over who cursed you. Your job is to clean your home, purify your heart, strengthen your du'a, and anchor your trust in Allah. Because if Allah is guarding you, no spell, no object, no hidden trap can harm you. And here's the irony. If someone really tried to destroy you with seer, and all it did was push you closer to Allah, then they failed. They didn't break you. They accidentally reminded you of your protector. That's the real victory. Not just safety, not just clarity, but a spiritual awakening. The kind that makes you clean your life not out of fear, but out of faith. The kind that makes your home a place where angels would want to stay. It was never about paranoia. It was about consciousness, not just of what enters your house, but what enters your heart. So tonight, ask yourself, not who cursed me, but what have I allowed in my life that keeps me distant from Allah? Because sometimes the real seer is forgetting who protects you in the first place. May Allah guard every home watching this from what is seen and unseen. Drop an Ameen if you feel that prayer in your chest. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.